Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to Nizzy's Sports Chat. I am your host, Nizzy, and in this video, we are going to be doing a 7-round mock draft for the Green Bay Packers. I'm a huge Packer fan, you guys, so with the upcoming draft in a couple of days here, I thought it'd be fun to do a mock draft on players who I think will be available and could possibly be selected by the Green Bay Packers. So let's go ahead and get right into it, you guys. So starting off in round one, the Packers select 29th overall. Lots of talks out there that we might be going cornerback, might be going O-line, might be going linebacker. Personally, I think we're going to take an offensive tackle because I think that's going to be the best remaining player at that position for what we're looking for. And I think we're going to go ahead and select Tevin Jenkins with the 29th overall pick, offensive tackle out of Oklahoma State University. This guy is an absolute beast, man. He's really good in the run blocking game. Has a lot of potential to be a really good pass blocker as well. He's got a huge frame. He's 6'6", 310 pounds. Just an absolute beast of a dude. He was selected all Big 12 first team last year as well. He was a starter when he was with Oklahoma State University, a senior, so he's played lots and has lots of experience at right tackle. So I think he'd be a great pickup for us in the first round. So we're going to go ahead and select Tevin Jenkins at offensive tackle in round one. And then round two, you guys, I think we're going to address our wide receiver needs. Especially we don't have any wide receivers signed after this season. So we're definitely going to need to address that position. And we all know that the Packers love selecting wideouts in the second round. Hence Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, and Davante Adams all being second round picks. So with the second round, 62nd overall pick, I project that the Packers will take D'Wayne Eskridge out of Western Michigan. I think he'll fill the slot role that we need so desperately very nicely. He's only 5'9", 190, which is a perfect slot size. His 2020 stats, he only played 6 games due to the COVID-shortened season. But during 6 games, he had 33 catches for 768 yards with an average of 23.3 yards per catch, which is insane. Also added on 8 touchdowns on top of that. And at the pro day there, he ran a 4.38 40-yard dash, which is really quick, man. So I think he'd be a really nice slot receiver for us. And we're definitely going to need that wide receiver depth. So I think we'll be going wide receiver with D'Wayne Eskridge in the second round, 62nd overall. And now moving on to the third round, 92nd overall pick we own in the third round, you guys. I think we're going to address that middle linebacker position. And we're going to go ahead and take Jabril Cox out of LSU, middle linebacker. Now this guy is a 3-down linebacker. That's why I think we're going to take him. He's 6'3", 232 pounds. Really good in pass coverage, which is what we need. We lost Christian Kirksey there. We let him go in the offseason here. So we're definitely going to need to add a middle linebacker, and I think Jabril Cox would be a really nice addition to the team. In 2020, he started 10 games for LSU, in which he had 3 interceptions, one of them going back for a pick 6. He also had 58 tackles, 6.5 tackles for a loss, and 5 pass breakups. So the guy's really good at doing it all. He's a 3-down linebacker. I think he'd fit really nicely with Kamal Martin and Chris Barnes. And that's who I think we're going to go with round 3 is Jabril Cox at middle linebacker. And then going over to round 4, you guys, we've got 2 picks in round 4. The first one is 135th overall. I think we're going to go defense again, and I think we're going to select our cornerback. And I think we're going to go with Paulson Adebo from Stanford. This guy opted out in 2020, so we don't know a lot about him because he hasn't played any year. But he is 6'1", 192 pounds, so he's a nice sized corner. His 2019 stats, I'll give you some stats from 2019 on him. He had 4 interceptions and 10 pass breakups. So 4 INTs and 10 pass breakups in 2019 to go with 33 tackles. He also missed 3 games, so that wasn't on a full season either, so those numbers could have been better if he played the full season, didn't miss some time. But he is also selected to first team All Pac-12. So I think he'd be a nice fit for us at cornerback and be someone that could work into that cornerback 2 role within a year or 2. So that's who I got at the first pick in round 4 is Paulson Adebo from Stanford. And then another round 4 pick at 142nd overall. I got us addressing the defensive line and grabbing Bobby Brown III. This guy is huge, man. He's 6'4", 320 pounds, just a big body-moving defensive lineman. He had 22 tackles in 2020, 7.5 tackles for a loss, and 5.5 sacks, Was also selected to first team All SEC. I think he'd be a really nice pick up for us and add some nice size on that defensive line for pushing bodies around, give Kenny Clark some help in our run game there, run game defense. So that's who I got going round 4, 142nd overall, Bobby Brown III at defensive tackle. Now we go over to round 5 where we also have 2 picks, you guys. So the first one in round 5, we got 173rd overall pick. I think we're going to go wide receiver again, get our next gadget, up-and-coming gadget player in Ihmir Smith-Marsette. He's got a nice size to him. He's 6'1", 180 pounds. He's definitely a really nice gadget player. He was doing kick returns in college. He took lots of sweeps as well and ran the ball a little bit in college. So he's a little bit of everything, right? He does that nice gadget. Nice gadget player for us. Does a lot of what Swerve and Irvin and Tavon Austin did. So I think he can be that player for the future and take over that role for those guys. Just some stats that he had. He had 25 catches for 345 yards last year with 4 touchdowns. Also ran the ball 7 times for 54 yards and a touchdown. And had 8 kick returns for a total of 176 yards, which averages out to about 22 yards per return. So I think he'd be a nice gadget pickup for us in the 5th round there. So once again, that's Ihmir Smith-Marsette, wide receiver in the 5th round. And then our second 5th round pick, 178th overall. I think we're going to go cornerback again. And I think we're going to take Robert Rochelle. He's 6 foot, 190 pound cornerback, really physical corner. Played in Central Arkansas. Only 7 games in 2020 due to the COVID shortened season, and I think he missed a game or 2 with injury as well. So didn't have a lot of play time in 2020, but in 2019 he had a really nice season where he was able to play the full season. Some stats from his 2019 season: he had 44 tackles, 13 pass breakups, which is nice, 5 interceptions, and was selected to first team All Southland Conference. So the dude's got a lot of talent. He's got a lot of potential, and could also compete for that cornerback number 2 spot in the foreseeable future. So I think that's who we're going to take in the second pick in round 5. And we'll head over to round 6, you guys. We've got 3 picks left. There's 2 in round 6 and 1 pick in round 7. So round 6, number 214 overall. I think we're going to go O-lineman again, and we're going to go ahead and take Royce Newman out of Mississippi. Now this guy is 6'5" and 310 pounds, so another big lineman. One thing that I really liked about this guy, why I think the Packers would potentially select him, is because he played guard and tackle throughout his college career. So he's got experience playing at all positions on the offensive line, which is usually a good asset to have. At least the Packers like having guys who can kind of play all the positions and move around where need be, depending on injuries and whatnot. So I think he'd be a great pickup for us in round 6, 214th overall. That's Royce Newman, offensive lineman. And then 220th overall in round 6, I think we're going to address some edge depth, just to have a little bit of help with the edge depth behind Preston and Za'Darius. Obviously, Rashawn Gary's in there too, but we could use an extra edge rusher for depth. And I think we're going to go ahead and take Dalen Hayes out of Notre Dame. So this guy, I think, can be a really nice addition for depth for us on the edge rusher and D-line. There, he's 6'3", 255 pounds, so he's not huge. That should give him some added speed, not being too heavy, which is exactly what you want for an edge rusher. In 2020, he started 12 games at Notre Dame. He had 17 tackles, 6 of those being tackles for a loss. Also had 3 sacks, 1 interception, and 2 forced fumbles. So he does a little bit of everything. Obviously has some decent hands if he was able to get an interception. Had some nice tackles for a loss, few sacks. And he was also a team captain for Notre Dame, which is good. It's always good to bring in new guys who are good leaders and who have been leaders in the past. Never hurts to have those quality of players. So I think we'll go ahead in that round 6 pick. We'll take Dalen Hayes at the edge rusher. And then round 7, our last pick, you guys, in the 2021 draft. I think the Packers are going to really try and beef up their wide receiver core here, especially because we have no wide receivers signed next year. So I think we're going to go ahead with our 7th-round, 256th overall pick and take Dez Fitzpatrick out of Louisville. Now this is more the size of cornerback that Goody likes to take. He's 6'2", 210 pounds. So he's a nice size wide receiver. And I really think he'd be a nice pickup at round 7 if he was able to fall that far. In 2020, he had 43 catches for 833 yards, which is 19.4 yards per catch, which is pretty nice. That's higher than what Valdes-Scantling had this past year, being, I think, second in the league. He finished second in the league in yards per catch. And he also added 3 touchdowns as well, and that was in 11 games this year with the COVID-shortened season. So once again, that's Dez Fitzpatrick at wide receiver. And yeah, guys, so we'll just recap all of the players that we selected in the 7 rounds here. There's 10 total picks for the Packers. So in round 1, we went ahead with offensive tackle Tevin Jenkins. Round 2, we addressed wide receiver and took Dwayne Eskridge. Round 3, we took middle linebacker Jabril Cox from LSU. First pick in round 4, we went with Paulson Adebo from Stanford at cornerback. And the second pick in round 4, we addressed defensive tackle and took Bobby Brown III. First pick in round 5, we went wide receiver again and took Amir Smith-Marset. Second pick in round 5, we take another cornerback in Robert Rochelle. And then round 6, first pick, we go ahead and take another offensive lineman and Royce Newman. And then the second round 6 pick, we went with an edge rusher in Dalen Hayes. And then to round it off in round 7, we ended with another wide receiver in Dez Fitzpatrick. So once again, guys, that's the 7-round mock draft for the Green Bay Packers. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Who do you think the Packers are going to end up taking with their picks? You think they'll end up trading any of the picks? It's definitely possible the Packers decide to trade up or trade down for some extra picks depending on what they want to do. We do have 10 picks, so it wouldn't surprise me if they trade a couple back-end picks away to maybe trade up in the 1st or 2nd round. I don't have it in my mock draft. Packers usually like to stay tight and select with their draft picks, but it is a possibility. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. And thank you guys for tuning in. This is Nizzy with Nizzy Sports Chat signing off. Peace.